Welcome to another edition of Makeup Monday. Today I'll be showing you how to use the Angelic line from Backfist Customs. These glitters are holographic, so once applied you get a holographic effect, but there are a few ways to do that, and I'm going to show you the best method today. So as you can see, I have a taped off, because I tape my cups, so I have my tumbler taped off. I wiped it down with a little bit of alcohol and let that dry, and all I've done so far is mix my epoxy. I'm going to be doing this particular color on the silver base because I am using Angelic silver. If I was using a different Angelic color, Angelic blueberry or Angelic red, I would base coat my tumbler as close to that glitter color as possible. But since I'll be using silver, I'm going to leave the silver stainless. So all we're going to do is apply our epoxy, and you're going to apply your epoxy in a normal coat. This isn't the epoxy method. I don't want you to think that we're doing the epoxy method for glitter application, because although that is what we're doing, we're not doing it the same way. So you want a normal coat of epoxy on here, like a regular coat. This isn't a flood coat, and this isn't a really thin coat. This is a normal coat of epoxy. Just as if you're covering a decal or anything else. You want a nice coat on there. Once we get this completely covered, top to bottom all the way around, we're going to just hit it with our torch really quick to pop any surface bubbles. I do that because it's right on the stainless. Although we are going to cover it with glitter, I still go ahead and do it because it is going to turn for a while before we add our glitter. And I will come back and explain that as we go. The wonderful thing, and I'll probably say this a few times throughout this tutorial, one of the wonderful things about these holographic glitters, there's several colors that they offer. I will link it in the description. But one of the really cool things about it is you really don't have to get too fancy. You can just put the holographic color on a cup, on a flask, you know, any of the canvases that you want to use. Slap a decal on it if you choose to, and just sell it. They are so pretty on their own that you really don't need to fancy it up at all. So I feel like I got a pretty nice even coat. I'm going to hit it with my torch just for a second, and then I'm going to let it spin. I'm going to let it spin for approximately 2.5 to 3 hours until it's in more of a gel-like state, not runny, but not cured. I don't know if you guys can see all of the little surface bubbles popping. When I come back in 45 minutes and remove my tape, I will hit it with the torch one more time, just because bubbles are still going to continue to form. And so I'll make sure to get those 45 minutes in when I'm removing my tape anyway. You want to hit it 1 or 2 rotations, should be plenty. You're not putting your actual flame on the epoxy. You're just getting close enough that it generates that heat and pops those bubbles. Stainless base and painted bases are so hard because they show every bubble. So if you get in the habit of doing this, it really helps. And that's it. I will come back in approximately, well, I will return to remove my tape in 45 minutes, but I will come back to you guys in approximately 2.5 hours, and we will glitter our tumbler, and I'll show you how to get that holographic effect out of your glitter. See you very, very soon. Welcome back. What we are going to do now is apply our glitter. The epoxy has been turning for approximately 2.5 hours at this point, and the way I know it's ready is I touch the epoxy down here on my paper that dripped down, and it's still really tacky, stringy, but not completely wet, if that makes sense. So I'm going to swap out this paper so I can save any of my glitter that falls. And that's what you want, is you want your epoxy to be still tacky, but not wet. Again, this particular tumbler is not base coated because we will be doing, we'll be using silver, Angelic silver. And you can use this like any other glitter as well, but if you're wanting the holographic properties that are in this particular color, or the series rather, because it's all of the Angelics other than 2. You see that holographic look? This is the way that I find best to apply it. There are other techniques that you can use, but this is just the way that I've found works for me. But I'm not knocking any other method that you may have. So again, once your epoxy is in like more of a gel state versus a liquid state, you're going to come back in here and you're going to sprinkle on your glitter. Now, one thing I will say about these Angelics is they're microfine, and they go everywhere. So when you're using them, just know that you're going to walk out of your room covered in glitter. And you go into it knowing that, and you won't have any issues. Take your time. Go all the way around. Most of this will fall off, and we'll put it right back in our jar. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop as soon as it does this rotation and put it back in my jar and keep going, because I don't want my paper too full. Literally just pull the paper out and put it right back in the jar and keep going. I'll get the rest of it when I'm done. Here again, there's other techniques you can use to applying this, getting that holographic effect. This is what I've found works best for me every single time, versus sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't with the other methods. With this one, it seems to work every single time for me, knock on wood. So this is the way that I'm sharing with y'all to do it. You want to make sure you have it everywhere, because this is the only chance you're going to have to get it on there. Make sure you've got a nice coat of glitter. Now, unfortunately, with the video, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the magic happen, but we're going to try. by doing that, all I'm doing is kind of tapping off some of the loose glitter. And really just trying to make sure that my tape lines are good, because I think I'm good everywhere else. And like I said, most of it will fall off. That's why you use the paper underneath. You can use really anything. I use pre-cut wax paper. But you can use printer paper, you can use plates. I've seen everything used. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you got around your house that is handy. Just need something to catch the excess, that's all. Okay, I think I'm pretty good with coverage. Now what I'm going to do is we're done with the glitter. We've got coverage on there. And as you can see, there's some loose glitter up here. Don't worry about it. Once your epoxy cures, we'll go back with a little paintbrush, makeup brush, whatever you have, and we'll just dust that off and it'll come right off. But as you can see, as it's turning, it doesn't quite have the holographic properties that we're looking for. And so what I've learned to do is you get out your handy torch again, and you literally just barely heat your epoxy. I'm not sure what this is doing. I really don't want to pretend like I know. My guess is that it's loosening your epoxy just enough, or heating your epoxy just enough to let that glitter sink down into it and lay flat. But that's just a guess, and I am no expert, so I'm not exactly sure why this works. But I don't know if you can see now, the holographic properties have shown up around the tumbler, and you're now getting the rainbow effect, which I will move the camera as soon as I'm done. But you literally can see it happening. So, you know, someone asked me if this works with a heat gun rather than a torch, and I say go for it and try it. My only fear is that if your epoxy is not tacky enough, you're going to be blowing off all of that glitter rather than laying it into your epoxy, if that makes sense. I'm just watching it go around a few rotations just to make sure it's holographic all over, and then I will show you guys exactly what it's done. And don't heat it too much. You don't necessarily want your epoxy to flow. You just want to heat it up enough that, like I said, I think it sinks the glitter in. I really don't know what's happening. I just know the end result. I wish I could tell you what was happening. I think I'm good. It looks holographic all the way around to me. So what I will do now is let this spin until it's completely cured, which is going to be, since we heated it up, it's going to take a little longer than your original cure rate. Oh, I see a spot I need to grab. It may take a little longer than your original cure rate because we heated it up, but it's so worth it. Just be patient with it and let it cure and do its thing, and you will be so happy with the results. And again, I said earlier that you can always just put one little decal on here, a mandala, you know, a paw print, anything that is popular for a lot of people, and just list it for sale. And the holographic effect alone helps sell this product. It is absolutely stunning. And so that's literally all you do. Let it spin and cure. Come back and wipe your edges off, and you can see, I can see it on the camera, you do see the holographic effect. So you'll come back in here and wipe the excess off the rims once it's completely cured, and you've got yourself a holographic cup ready to go. Again, if you were doing this on any or with any other color, I'm grabbing a few. I didn't leave y'all. I promise. This is Angelic wine. With any other color, I would try and base coat my cup the same. This one right here is Angelic. That one's hard to see. But this one is Angelic Blueberry. I mean, they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. There's so many things that you can do with these, especially with the holographic. Once that shows through, they're just stunning. Make yourself a wine set. List it for whatever your prices are, and it's almost a guaranteed sale. So I hope you guys learned a bunch. I hope it helps everyone. I hope to see you guys again soon. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll have lots of stuff coming up. So until next time, happy tumbling and happy crafting.